everyone, today we're going to make a dragon scale bead, and for this you're going to need some dark ivory glass, Fetra or Moretti as it's also known, some lapis, which I believe is Creation is Messy, and some pre-prepared silver ivory stringer. And you don't need any tools apart from a marver and a coated mandrel. I'm going to warm the mandrel so that the glass will stick to it. I'm going to gently introduce my rod of ivory into the flame to acclimate it so that it doesn't suffer thermal shock and spit everywhere. I just get a little gather of ivory, and now I'm laying it onto the mandrel to prepare my footprint. So I'm going to let that melt in. And I'm going to gently marver it to make sure that we have nice puckered ends, so that we don't spoil the stringing material. I'm going to put some more glass on so that we have a nice sized bead, and I'm keeping all of the glass I layer on in the centre. And I'm going to melt that in just using heat and gravity. Just gently marver it a little. I'm taking the silvered ivory stringer and just putting a layer of dots around the centre, evenly spaced. And then again in between around the edges. On the other side. It's a good idea to start off with a bit of stringer longer than I just used, otherwise you can burn your fingers. So I'm just going to melt that in. It spreads out quite nicely on the ivory. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm now going to take my lapis and place a set of smaller dots on top of the ivory. And I like to use a full rod of glass to do this, because you can actually get smaller dots as stringer tends to ball up. We're not looking for perfection here, as the dragon scales are not perfect. Well, you wouldn't think so if you saw a dragon, I guess. I'm just going to melt that in. there we can see the dragon scale pattern emerging. And I'm just going to heat this a little more so that the surface glass of the bead slides round to give those scales a little more movement. And we can see that they've spread out. They're not quite so round. And there we have dragon scale bead. I'm going to pop that into the kiln to be annealed. And there it will stay until the morning.